Hi guys. Okay, today we're going to have a little fun. We do a lot of load development with our cap and ball revolvers for hunting and target work and stuff like that. But the time these were issued weapons for fighting the Civil War, you didn't get to do that a lot. It was issue paper cartridge ammunition. And here is an issue type of paper cartridge ammunition. This one is a Arizgon Kerr bullet, which is a 220 grain conical bullet loaded on top of 35 grains of 3F GoX powder. A Dragoon load, okay? Because let's play this little scenario. You're an old soldier at the end of the war. You spent your whole time in combat carrying a Colt Dragoon. And at the last of the war, somebody issues you a new gun. And it's that newfangled Rodgers and Spencer. But it's a lot weaker, ain't it? No, it's not. We talked about that earlier. Because, as you see, taking this Dragoon cartridge will load into a Rodgers and Spencer, removing all doubt that that's a Dragoon. They never said it was a Dragoon, but it's a Dragoon. The Walker had a 60 grain charge. They changed that to the Dragoon's 50 grain charge max. They issued 45, then 40, 35 at the beginning of the Civil War, and not even the first year of the war they dropped it down to 30 grains. Well, a 30 grain charge in a conical will fit in an 1860, but a 35 is a Dragoon. And this just took a Dragoon cartridge. So that's a Dragoon. But in this little scenario of this old soldier who's came up shooting this big heavy thing, and then he's issued this graceful, good-looking, solid frame with all the innovations, is it that better a choice? Let's find out. Let's do a head-to-head, sort of a blind shoot. Yeah, these are both mine. I've shot both of them. But I've never shot either one of these with that Kerr bullet out of a paper cartridge with that. So this is completely new right off the beginning. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to load up 6 in here, and then I'm going to load 6 in the Walker. And I'm going to put a target up at 25 yards. I'm going to sit down on the bench and just prop my forearms up instead of getting on a fancy rest. I want what the old soldier might have had on that day, of being able to prop up onto a saddle or a window or a cotton bale or whatever to shoot at an enemy combatant at 25 yards out. Will the solid frame, solid channel, all the bells and whistles, modern new gun outperform the old obsolete Colt? Let's find out. Okay, first up is the Rodgers and Spencer loaded with the 220 grain Kerr bullet and 35 grains of 3F in a paper cartridge, capped with number 10 Remington cap. The target is 25 yards out. It is a simple dot. I will not be using a special rest or anything. I'll simply be propping my forearms on the table to steady myself. Nothing fancy. Let's see what kind of combat accuracy we can get out of it. I'll stop and restart the camera. Make sure that my volume didn't go away from the sound of the bang. Okay, with that simple combat loadout and just simply pointing it in that direction and lining up on this dot, I got 2 hits out of 6 tries. Now, could that have been me? Of course. The gun held well, seemed to fire well, but that's a whole lot of horsepower coming out of that thing. And it has not been developed for that. I bet you if I played around with the load, I could get a lot better accuracy. But as a standard combat load where you're issued this gun and you're issued this ammo on a day in combat, what could I expect? Well, at 25 yards, I got 2 hits. Now let's see how the Dragoon does. Okay, Dragoon fully loaded and capped. The target has the 2 holes in it from the Rodgers and Spencer. I've gone down and circled them with a pen so we'll be able to tell it. Now let's see how this would perform with just issue ammo on the last day of the war. That's all 6. Let's go down and see how the Dragoon did. Okay. This hit and this hit is from the Rodgers and Spencer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6 on the target. So, in conclusion, if that old soldier on that last day of the war had been handed a Rodgers and Spencer, a more modern, all the things, with just issue ammo and the issue soldier with no setup ahead of time, which gun would have been a better one for him to have? In this head-to-head, it was the Dragoon. Now, I know a lot of you Remington boys are going to get upset, and I fully understand. With load development, me working it out, knowing where the gun's going to go, yeah, I could radically improve that. But I could do the same with the Rodgers and Spencer. And so, an issue gun that you're just, here you go. Issue ammo, here you go. What would it do? Rodgers and Spencer, aiming there and squeezing it off, put 2 hits. The Colt put all 6. Now, no, that's not there, but anywhere in here is kind of important. I put that dot about where the belt buckle would be on the uniform. So, all of those hits would have been in a torso or a belly off the Walker, off of the Dragoon. So, yeah. I've often said, I think the Remington's a fine gun. It shoots great, and it can be more accurate than the Colt. But I love my Colts. Hope you've enjoyed this little fun head-to-head, guys. If you have, please put it down there in the comments, and I may do more in the future. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.